Next we can discuss about angle of friction. So what do you mean by angle of friction? So angle of friction is the angle whose tangent gives the coefficient of friction. Okay, so angle of friction is the angle whose tangent gives the coefficient of friction. Okay, so let's discuss it in detail so you can understand. On the screen you can see one figure. So here a force is acting here and it will be our normal reaction. Okay, normal reaction is the force offered by the surface on the object and it will be perpendicular to the object, and frictional force will act, static friction will act in this direction. Okay, so this is the direction of static friction, and again it will be the limiting friction, and it is given here, it is the limiting friction. Now this normal reaction is a vector, static friction or the limiting value of static friction is a vector. So we have two vectors, one is normal reaction, another is the static friction. So what will be the resultant vector? We had already studied in the case of vector resolution. The resultant vector will be like this. This will be the resultant vector. If two vectors are acting like this, resultant vectors will be acting like this. Okay. So if you want, you can consider it as a parallelogram. Okay, just draw a line parallel to normal reaction, another line parallel to Fs. Okay, and then it forms a parallelogram, and the diagonal of the parallelogram forms the resultant. Okay, you can also consider in that way. So anyway, if you have two mutually perpendicular vectors like this, then the resultant vector will be acting along this direction. So here our resultant vector also acts along the same direction. So this will be our resultant vector R. Okay, and you can see one angle here. This angle is theta, and this angle is actually our angle of friction. Now in this triangle LAC, so consider this right angle triangle LAC, sorry children, this is not alpha, this is theta. So tan theta is equal to opposite side by adjacent side. Which is the opposite side? This is the opposite side. And which is the adjacent side? This is the adjacent side. So LA by AC. And what is LA by AC? LA by AC, that means this is LA, and LA is parallel to the limiting friction. So it will be equal to the limiting value of static friction divided by, and this will be the adjacent side, and this adjacent side is our normal reaction. Okay, so we got tan theta is equal to Fs by N. Okay, or we can write Fs maximum or Fs limiting by N. Next, we know that Fs maximum by N is nothing but our coefficient of friction mu. We had already studied that expression. Coefficient of friction mu is equal to Fs maximum by normal reaction N. So here we got the get the expression tan theta is equal to Fs maximum by N, that is equal to the coefficient of static friction. Okay, so tan of this angle theta gives us the coefficient of static friction, or simply we can say coefficient of friction. So what is coefficient of friction, or what is angle of friction? Angle of friction is the angle whose tangent gives us the coefficient of friction. That means tan theta equal to mu. Okay. Next, what is angle of repose? Angle of repose is defined as the minimum angle made by an inclined plane with the horizontal such that an object placed on the inclined surface just begins to slide. Consider an inclined surface as shown in the figure. Okay, so when an object is placed on the inclined surface, what happens? So initially, if the angle of inclination is less, it is not necessary that the object starts to move through the surface. Now gradually increase the angle of inclination. Angle of inclination means this angle, so theta. Okay. So then again increase the angle of inclination. When angle of inclination is increased, again it is not necessary that the object will move through this inclined plane. Then again increase the angle of inclination. Maybe at this position the object starts to slide through the inclined plane without any external force. Okay, so this angle theta for which or at which the object starts to slide down or the object just begins to slide down is known as the angle of repose. Okay. So again we can come back to the definition. Angle of repose is defined as the minimum angle made by an inclined plane with the horizontal such that an object placed on the inclined surface just begins to slide. Now what is the relationship between angle of friction and the angle of repose? We can just consider this relation through a small derivation. So here from the figure we can see an object slides down through the inclined surface. Theta is the angle of inclination. And what are the forces acting on this object? One will be our normal reaction force. One will be our normal reaction force N. Okay, in some books the normal reaction is denoted by R. So that's why R is written here. Okay, anyway you can consider it as our normal reaction. And another one is the weight of the object, which is vertically downwards, mg, weight of the object. And the another force is the frictional force. So frictional force will act opposite to the direction of motion because the object is moving down. So the frictional force will be developed opposite to that. That means towards this direction. So these are the three forces acting on the object. Now we can see that all the three forces are acting along different directions. So all the three forces are vectors too. So we cannot add them. We can add them just like numbers only if the vectors acts along the same straight line. But here all the three vectors are acting along the different directions. So we cannot add these three forces. So we can do one thing. We can resolve any one vector. So here we have the vector mg and we can resolve that vector mg and let this be one component of mg and let this be the another component of mg. Okay, now if we consider this angle as theta, because if this angle is theta, then by geometry this angle also will be theta. So this component is adjacent to theta, so it will be mg cos theta, and this component is mg sin theta. Okay, so we have resolved mg vector into two components, horizontal component and vertical component. So one component is mg cos theta, another component is mg sin theta. Now we can see which are the forces acting on the object. Normal reaction, mg cos theta, frictional force, mg sin theta. See, a pair of forces are developed. Normal reaction and mg cos theta forms a pair. They act along the straight line. And frictional force and mg sin theta acts another pair, forms another pair. They also act along the same straight line, but in the opposite direction. Okay, so we can say this frictional force F is balanced by mg sin theta, and the normal reaction N is balanced by mg cos theta. Okay, so we can write frictional force F is equal to mg sin theta. It is balanced by mg sin theta. And at the same time, the normal reaction force is balanced by mg cos theta. Okay, so divide these two equations. When you divide the LHS part, you will get F by N. And when you divide the RHS part, you will get mg will cancel. Then you will get sin theta by cos theta, and sin theta by cos theta is tan theta. Okay, so we got the relation F by N is equal to tan theta. And we had already studied frictional force by normal reaction means it is the ratio of frictional force to normal reaction. It is the coefficient of friction. Okay, so we can write the coefficient of friction mu is equal to tan theta. Okay, and in the previous case we got an expression for angle of friction. What is that? Angle of friction is tan of angle of friction is equal to mu, coefficient of friction. So this is the case of coefficient of friction. This is the case of this is the case of angle of friction, and this is the case of angle of repose. So both the expressions are equal. So we can say angle of repose is equal to angle of friction. Okay, angle of repose is equal to angle of friction. That is the relationship between angle of repose and angle of friction. Both are equal. Okay. Now what are the advantages of friction? You all know. Friction helps us to walk. It helps us to hold objects. It helps in striking matches. It helps in driving automobiles, and it is helpful in stopping a vehicle. Otherwise, if we stop a vehicle, if we apply the brake and if frictional force is not there, it will not stop. Vehicle will not stop. Vehicle stops only because of the friction offered or the frictional force between the road and the tire. Okay. Now, what are the disadvantages of friction? It produces wear and tear. It produces wastage of energy in the form of heat. It reduces the efficiency of engine. So what are the steps to reduce friction? Friction can be reduced by polishing the surfaces in contact, and also by the use of lubricants such as oil or something like that, and by the use of ball bearings. Okay. So with this I am concluding my session. Notes of the topic and YouTube video have been uploaded. Go through it. We will meet in the next session. Till then, take care all of you. Stay home, stay safe. Keep learning. Thank you.